Welcome back to Fit Survive channel. So I have a couple items here from Mecarmy. These are both titanium, both pretty cool, kind of novelty items. So the first one we'll look at, this is the Mecarmy CPL3. As you can see, this is a pocket clip. Like I said, this is made of titanium. And then quite obviously you have a LED light attached to this pocket clip. So it's the first time I've seen something like this, and definitely very interesting. And I was really curious to test this out and show this to you guys. So the set up here to be fit onto a Benchmade or an Emerson knife. But then fortunately for us, this also fits on the Meton Boss custom scales. So this is a 91mm Swiss Army knife made from, it's made by Meton Boss. So basically that lines up perfectly. And so you can attach this to a custom Swiss Army knife. I'm going to attach this real quick. All right, so there we go. So really easy to attach to these custom scales from Meton Boss. Now you'd have to request the threads to be cut into the scale there. All right, and that snaps onto the 91mm Swiss Army knife. And you can see, I mean, it adds quite a bit of bulk to the knife. I mean, kind of almost, I don't know, kind of an awkward kind of way, just how large that is. But nonetheless, I think it's kind of cool, kind of definitely unique. If you wanted to add a LED light to your Swiss Army knife, here's a pretty simple option. Even if you're not much into some more serious like modifications to this Swiss Army knife, it's actually fairly simple to attach these aftermarket scales from Meton Boss. I mean, it's as easy as popping off the plastic scales and then attaching these. You might need some like a two-part epoxy to make sure it doesn't fall. But as you can see, it's it doesn't really pop on. And so you might need some epoxy to hold it in place. And otherwise, it's fairly simple, pretty straightforward to do. And so that's one way to upgrade your Swiss Army knife. Get an LED light on it. So it's really cool here. All right, so like I said, got the LED there, and so it of course has a Type-C charging port, so you can keep your flashlight on your keychain, charged up. So it has a max output of 300 lumens, which is pretty impressive. So what you do here is you double click, and that'll take you to the lowest setting of just 4 lumens. Click it again, takes up to 16 lumens. One more time, you get 110 lumens. Then you do a triple click, and it takes you into the 300 lumens. Click it one more time, you get the strobe. All right, so that is basically it. Very simple, pretty straightforward flashlight, but nonetheless pretty cool. All right, it has a 55 milliamp hour built-in battery, obviously rechargeable here. Here in the front lower section, there is a slot for a tritium vial. So it's a 1.5 millimeter by 6 millimeter tritium vial that requires to fit right in there. So it's kind of cool, little extra option to, I guess, personalize it some more. All right, so this pocket clip costs $90. So definitely on the more kind of premium side, kind of an expensive pocket clip. But nonetheless, definitely really one of a kind, let's put it that way, with this with this LED light on there. Now, if you are curious about this custom Swiss Army knife, now I've already mentioned that the scales are from Meton Boss. These are titanium. This is what he calls his battle-worn topographic pattern. It's kind of interesting there. Almost like it's like stone washed. And this is what I call a cyber mechanic. And so it has black G10 liners. The tool has been acid etched, and they have a aluminum wash on them. So the tools are nice and dark here. And you have the cyber tool in the middle, which is why it's called a cyber mechanic. Gets that name from the cyber tool. All right, and then lastly is the pliers. So definitely a really cool tool set. And in the back you have just a corkscrew. All right, so that is it for the CPL3. I'm gonna leave this right here. All right, then next up here from Mecarmy, this is their TPX8. And so this is their little tactical pen. This again is also titanium, but it is available in brass and copper, depending on maybe if that's more of your thing, maybe to match your EDC. But what you'll notice about this, other than the fact that it's a super tiny pen, I mean like literally palm sized, another thing you'll notice about it is that there's no pocket clip. So most of the like tactile pens or titanium pens that I've used and reviewed, they all have a pocket clip on them. So this one's actually intended specifically to be placed on a keychain. So this very large D-link here. I mean, super massive. And so that's meant to, you just put on your keychain there. Now, it's kind of borderline, it's kind of large in my opinion, of a pendant to be putting on a keychain. I mean, maybe it'd be just fine, not extremely large. I do appreciate that it's thick enough to where you can hold on to it. As you can see, like typically you want the pin to rest like at this knuckle right here. I mean, it is just short of that. I mean, so it does take some getting used to when you write with this. Nonetheless, I think if they made it any thinner, it'd be too short and too thin to comfortably use. You end up just like kind of pinching it with two fingers. So the thickness does kind of still make it kind of comfortable to write with it. So it is bolt action, which again that's pleasant, nice and fidgety there. It has good action. It takes a Germany Lamy M22 refill, so just a small little refill here. All right, so you can see right there the Lamy. I'm probably even pronouncing that right, Lamy M22. All right, so anyways, definitely a really cool little pin. For me personally, I'm not decided if I'd want to carry this on my keychain. I do carry a lot of keys, and so an extra pin of this size might be just a bit too much. But nonetheless, it's still a very cool little EDC item here. Just the size of it, super compact is what I would call that ink pen there. So you might have noticed this has 6 tritium slots on the top, and then you'll be able to see them along the sides. And again, it's just going to make the pen a bit more personalized looking. You can choose some colors with the tritium vials. I mean, getting 6 tritium vials is going to cost you a pretty penny as well, though. Speaking of which, this ink pen costs $66. The brass version was $10 cheaper, like 56, and then the copper is also 66. So anyways, definitely some really interesting items here from Mecarmy. I'm actually super curious to hear your thoughts, especially about this pocket clip. I realize this is like on the border of really cool or ridiculous, and so I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it down in the comments. Let me know if you could put that on a custom Swiss Army knife of yours. I mean, worst case scenario, you can unscrew that. You can see the screws right there. So you could remove that, but it's gonna leave a pretty wide pocket clip even without the LED light. But definitely, nonetheless, it's definitely something very unique. But yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And same thing about the pin. Is this something you can see you carrying on your keychain? Or if it's, if you think it's too big or too impractical to use, let me know down below. I'll have links to these down again in the description of the video. So check that out if you're interested. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.